We're just looking for the form so I can help you verify which one you need to fill in. A little closer? Okay. Alright, so you will need to fill in the form that looks like this, with the chair and the secretary's information. It should be in your envelopes somewhere. Okay. Once everyone's done that, can you just kind of wave your hand? Good. All right. Well, Democrat, precinct caucus, March 1st. Then it has your precinct number, the site and all that. Then there are 2 lines, one for caucus chairperson, one for caucus secretary. It's a very simple sheet. Did everyone find that? All right, I'm going to move on unless there are any objections to that. All right, we'll give you 1 minute longer. All right, well, while you're looking for that, let me explain the next step. We're going to do a straw poll for the presidential preference. This is a non-binding vote. This is purely to see whether or not people in your precinct, if your candidate has enough votes, because if you want to be a delegate, your candidate has to reach threshold. If your candidate's not going to reach threshold in your precinct, you have the choice at that point to change your vote. So you have a chance to be a delegate. It is, like I said, it is an unofficial, non-binding, we're not recording the details, it is just a quick snapshot of your precinct right now. Is there anyone who's still waiting for affirmations to be checked in? Okay, so we have to delay proceedings right now while we wait for that because they were guaranteed a chance to take part in this. So while we are waiting for that, I'm going to do some more reading work. Just
I think it's just to verify, like, somebody trying to say you weren't here. How about you?
How is this? Where am I? Periscope.tv.
all right, so we have 2 letters from 2 candidates. These are not presidential candidates. This is a reminder that there's not just a presidential vote in November. There are many other positions, and we would love you all to vote Democrat straight down the ticket. So, thank you for giving me a moment. My friend Alice Madden is a Democratic candidate for the at-large University of Colorado region seat, and she has asked me to read this message to you. Welcome to the caucus. I wish I could be with you all tonight. Now, I know there is a slightly bigger issue on your agenda, but I wanted to let you know how much I will need your support for this statewide race. Some of you may recall that I led the effort to take over the State House in 2004 and helped grow that majority in 06 and 08. I was proud to serve as the first Democratic House Majority Leader since the 1970s, and I remain particularly proud of the progress we made with Governor Bill Ritter. There are 9 members on the CU Board of Regents. 7 are elected by congressional district. 2 are elected statewide. If I win this seat, and I know that I can with your help, leadership of the board will shift to the Democrats for the first time since 1979. In addition to budgetary oversight, the regions choose a university president, historically a Republican. Wouldn't it be nice to have a CU president that represented our state's progressive values? It is not always apparent, but CU leadership matters to our entire state. CU contributes well over $5 billion a year to the Colorado economy. The university is our 3rd largest employer, directly employing over 27,000 people and another 16,000 indirectly through demand for goods, services, and construction. With its 4 campuses, CU educates more than 58,000 students a year. I am a proud alumna, and CU has played a pivotal role in my entire adult life. I want to make sure CU remains a world-class research and teaching institution of which every Coloradan can be proud. I will work tirelessly to make CU and all higher ed in our state affordable, accessible, and accountable. Don't just take my word for it. Here's what former US Senator and Secretary of Interior Ken Salazar has to say. Alice has shown the tenacity needed to turn a strategic vision into reality. A longtime advocate of higher education, the University of Colorado and our state will benefit from her leadership. She will bring the right vision at the right time to the CU Board of Regents. So thank you all for being at the caucus tonight, and remember, friends, don't let friends stay home on election day, and finish your ballot. All right, and then Alice Madden. And then we have somebody who is running against Ken Buck in the Congressional District number 4. His name is Bob Say, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's S-E-A-Y. All right, and he also has a letter. Dear voter, thank you for participating in tonight's caucus. This election presents critical choices for our country. The 2016 presidential race has brought forth 2 exciting candidates in Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. Regardless of where you stand between the two, the last 8 years have demonstrated that the president needs a supportive and progressive Congress in order to accomplish and overcome the challenges America is currently facing. I stand with Hillary Clinton on equal pay for women and paid family for new parents and caregivers. A future to believe in is one that includes moving towards universal health care. And I support Bernie Sanders' plan to expand healthcare coverage to all Americans. My opponent in this race has a very different plan for America. His vision includes privatizing Social Security and the VA, abolishing the EPA, and any other regulatory agency that could prevent his corporate donors from making money at the expense of the American people, and preventing any type of real campaign reform, thus ensuring that regular Americans are locked out of the political process. I don't have corporate donors. I don't have a super PAC. In fact, all of my donations come from hardworking people like yourselves. As your representative, I will go to Washington, D.C. and fight for the interests of the people of CD4. You will be my only special interest. We have a lot of work to do from now until November 8th, but together can do great things for our state and for our country. Thank you for coming to caucus tonight, and thank you for your continued support. And this is Bob C. And there should be a copy of, I think there's a copy of his letter in your packets, but I have other copies if anyone wants. Also, while we're waiting for the last few people, too often Democrats or Republicans run unopposed in Weld County. So we are making a plea for anyone who is interested in running for public office to contact the Weld Democrats. We are really doing outreach and trying to get people. There are lots of different county-type positions. There's county council, which is technically nonpartisan. Town councils are nonpartisan. School boards, there are tons of places you could run. It does not have to be for senator or congressman or representative right away, but it could be down the line. So if you're interested, we're also looking at, there are some races that are admittedly pretty much we're not going to win, but we feel that it's important to at least be fielding good quality candidates in those races. with a positive democratic message. So if anyone's interested, I have information for you if you want to do that. And I am an elected official here in town. I ran, I won, go figure. And actually, the man with the hat who was at the entrance table, that's George Heath, and he is currently running for Firestone Town Board. So he's a good guy, you should vote for him too. All right, we're going to wait just a couple of more minutes for the last couple of people to be checked in, and then we will go ahead and do our straw poll. Does anyone have any questions while we're waiting?
Does the light in the refrigerator go off when I close the door?
No other questions? Come on, guys.
Hi, I'm looking up the numbers I have the ones for Mitch McConnell and Cory Gardner and Michael Bennett. If we could all make calls and let them know that we need them not to obstruct the president nominating a U.S. Supreme Court replacement. Very, very important to get this position filled. There's a lot of important cases coming up that will have impacts and ramifications for each and every one of us. So let's let him not get away with his obstruction. Yes?
I tried personally to contact Cory Gardner's office and got an error message when I tried to email him, so call his office if you can.
Yeah, I'm looking up the number now. I called Mitch McConnell's office today, and they hung up on me afterwards. But if more of us call and complain, I mean, it is our constitutional duty to do this, to vote on it, and to say that they're not going to even let it come up before committee is ridiculous. The president met with McConnell today, and McConnell, he had a committee meet with McConnell about it today, and they said we're not budging. So we, the people, need to force them. Thanks. I'll have the number in a minute.
All right, I believe we are ready to do the straw poll, unless I see hands indicating otherwise. Is everyone checked in? Does everyone have their little white sticker or a visitor sticker? All right, so this is non-binding, not official. Do not write anything down. Do not fill out that form. This is purely a show of hands in your precinct. If you look at, there's a page that says the math worksheet. And you can count the number of people in your precinct, and you can see how many votes they would need to get that 15% delegate, or 15% threshold. So if you need 6 votes and only one person puts their hand up, well, I guess that candidate does not have threshold. It's pretty simple, informal. We're just kind of getting a gauge for where people are. So I would suggest you count the number of people in your precinct. You can either count the people you've checked off on your list, people just raise their hand and count themselves off, so you have the starting number. So you can see how many you would need for your delegates. If you want to just write that number down somewhere, that would be great.
22. They don't count. They're visitors.
It's 24.
Okay, good. Thank you. It's 24 people total. Do not make it 12.
They're visitors.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so go ahead and do your straw poll. Put hands up and count off who's voting for Hillary, Bernie, or uncommitted. There's always a choice for uncommitted.
Bernie.
And if you have another name you want to put in, you can vote for them too. Like you not get
Uncommitted? They don't add up.
So, one more time. Bernie?
Bernie.
1, 2. 13. Hillary Clinton. 1. Are we missing somebody? Yeah. Yeah.
11 and
Oh, 13 and 12. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I need to
13 Bernie, 11
Don't
Hillary.
write. No, don't write anything. We don't have enough for either of them. We don't have enough for either of them.
That means we are.
We don't have.
It's the percentage.
It's a percentage? Oh, percent. Never mind. I thought it was 30 votes. Duh.
It's your sister.
No, wait, I just think we're starting there.
Yeah. No, yeah.
No, I'm just going to wait over here.
Yeah, right now this is just
All right, has everyone done their informal straw poll? All right, now we are going to move on to, right now we are going to let anyone who would like to speak on behalf of any of the candidates a chance to come up and do that now. We will limit you to no more than 1 minute because we are already running late. So no more than 1 minute. If anyone would like to try and convince everyone else to vote for their candidate, you are free to come up and speak now.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. Very quickly, I want to appreciate you coming out because I know this is a time commitment. I am supporting Bernie Sanders, as you can see, primarily because he's not afraid to think big. He believes in a living wage. No one should work for 40 hours a week and still live in poverty. He believes in free education. And he also believes that when we reject science, we are the joke of the world. He has been there for vets. He is the chair of the Veterans Affairs Committee. He believes you don't go to war unless you can afford to care for the vets. He knows the system is rigged. He asks why we give tax breaks to billionaires when we can't take care of the elderly or children. He supports job growth. He wants corporate America to stop offshoring money and building factories abroad. And he supports a $1 trillion investment in infrastructure to create millions of jobs here in America. Bernie rejects the incrementalism of the establishment. He says, and he's told this up in Fort Collins just the other day, when you run on a platform calling for a full loaf, at worst, you get a half a loaf. But if you all ask for half a loaf, you're going to get crumbs. America does not need crumbs. We need the whole loaf. I'd ask you to consider voting for Bernie Sanders. Thank you.
I just think we're very lucky to have two great candidates. I actually feel that I am for Hillary. I feel that when it comes to foreign affairs, just the whole gamut of being a president, that she certainly is the one that is most qualified. But I think my strongest message is, regardless of who wins, let's be very supportive of that person, whether you vote for them right now or not. So much is at stake right now, and if we let the other side win, it's actually quite frightening.
So we've heard from both campaigns, so I think we're ready to go on, unless there are any objections to that. All right, now we are going to do the official presidential preference poll. Once you have voted here, you will not be able to change your mind. You can't go back and scratch out your name. This is that form. Looks like this. It has 3 columns: Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and uncommitted. The caucus secretary can please pass this around the table, verifying that the person who's filling it in actually has a white sticker and is supposed to be voting in that precinct. Please fill in your name under your preferred candidate, and we will use that to calculate delegates. This is the official count for your precinct. Once you've got that filled in, we'll walk through the math worksheet together because it's a bit confusing.
She's good. She's gonna bring us that other one back.
Throwing things away or not?
You guys want to do any green stuff?
Yes.
For visual sake?
Trump too. Do you think? Based on what you're saying. 50% of the entire group. Trump had 9.
Marty.
And he has 6. And Hillary Clinton, like, I was mixed. It's been off my radar. Yeah.
How long do you think you
I did.
I'm not taking you to go, right? Excuse me.
We can go. Dad.
All right, are we still busy? All right. All right, everything going okay? Any questions? Everyone getting it done? If you have not voted yet, please make sure that your name, or at least an X, is under your presidential preference column. This will be your only chance to vote on this, so if you skip it, it is on you.
No one changed their mind?
1311. I almost changed my mind. Scary times.
Do we still need more time?
That's the second. So it was 13. That's about 15.
Lay it out nice and simple.
Do we still need more time? Okay. It's all good. Take as long as you need.
Did it. Got it. Yeah, this one. No? You can put it all.
All right, are we still writing names down?
Nothing major.
Right, please do not start filling out the math worksheet yet. We'll walk through that together because it's a little weird sometimes. Alright, just for information while we're waiting, a little bit later I will be reporting to the state party the raw numbers from this poll. Hillary got this many, Bernie got this many, and Camilla got that many. We still need to elect delegates to go to the county convention, but for tonight, the information that is going to be reported to the media is the raw numbers of the polls.
For some reason, I think it did an error because it was recently.
Alright, we still busy? Okay. Alright, well, we do have to be out of here by 9, so I'm going to kind of move on and get some of the stuff done before we finish. On the math worksheet, the big scary math worksheet, it says math worksheet at the top. If the caucus chair or secretary can pull that out, make sure your precinct number is filled in. And on the top right corner of your big yellow envelope is a sticker with your precinct information, and that tells you how many delegates your precinct is allotted. So you can fill that in on the number of allotted delegates line.
So 2 delegates for our precinct.
You can also go ahead and fill in the names of the candidates on the graph. Sanders, Clinton, and if anyone had a write-in name or an individual name, you can add that too. We're not going to put the numbers in just yet, but you can at least get the names written in. So I've had some questions about if people are free to leave. You may leave at any point in the proceedings. If you have written your name on that sheet, your vote will count. It is part of the official count. If you leave now, you run the risk of not being a delegate, but if that was not important to you, you may leave now. We hope you don't, because there's some other stuff we need to get through, but if you have other commitments or babysitters or whatever you need to deal with, if your name is on that list, it is part of the official count.
Unless, of course, this You must have 2 copies.
All right. How are we looking over there? Are we all done? All right. Has everyone who wished to vote written their name down on their precinct piece of paper? If you have not, your vote is not going to be counted. All right. I don't see anyone that appears they haven't done that, so we are going to move on. All right. So the math worksheet. If you have a cell phone with a calculator, you should probably get that out now. Under a number of caucus attendees, you will add up all the numbers on that sheet, the total number of people who voted in that poll. All right, is everyone done with that step? Okay, make sure you have a list of all the 2 candidates on the grid under candidate. Based on your total number of caucus attendees, if you look on the right-hand side, there is a threshold chart. Pull the correct number based on the number of attendees that indicates threshold for that candidate. All right, everything good so far? Pretty self-explanatory. All right, now you will use that official form that everyone signed their names on, and you will fill in the number of votes per candidate in the votes in preference poll column. How many? Just a raw number. If there were 10 people for Hillary and 10 for Bernie, they each get 10. All right, ready to move on from there? Or are you still counting? All right, then the next column, the number of allotted delegates. That is based on the number on the top right corner of your yellow envelopes. The number of delegates your precinct has been or is allowed to send to county caucus, county convention. All right, everyone good with that so far? Okay, take out your calculators. The third column will be the total number of caucus attendees. That is all the people that voted in your caucus, regardless of who they voted for. So we have the number of votes your candidate got, multiplied by the number of delegates your precinct gets, divided by the total number of caucus attendees at your precinct. Does that make sense to everyone? Everyone good with that? All right, do the math and write in your number of delegates in the fifth column, including decimals. At least 2, but more if you have it.
Maybe they add those up and that must be it. I bet you it rounds up on its own from the number of delegates and precincts and stuff. Maybe just
if anyone needs help with this piece, just raise your hand and I can come help.
But it makes sense that they're close spacing. Determining number of
even if you had no uncommitted votes at your table, you still do need to fill that column in with a 0, so we know that they were we at least check to make sure. Anyone need help? All right, ready to move on? All right, so now we determine the number of delegates your candidate gets. So if your precinct is allotted 5 delegates, we need to split those evenly based on the calculations. So the number to the left of the decimal point is an automatic delegate. So if the number was 2.6, that candidate automatically gets 2. If it was 1 point something, they automatically get 1. So next to the number of delegates to elect, write whatever that number. Actually, don't do that yet. All right, has everyone got that? So if you add those numbers up, I'm betting they do not add up to the number of delegates your precinct was awarded. So now we get to the decimals. We do not round up or down because that will give you weird delegate counts. So we will look at, and the information is all at the bottom of the sheet here. We look at the first number to the right of the decimal point, and the one with the highest number there gets the next delegate. So if it's a 2.8 and a 2.3, the person with the 2.8 will get the additional delegate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was very close. It's 1-on-1.
If you still have not filled all your delegate spots,
It's common core.
we go to the second highest number, and they get the next delegate. Is everyone okay with this so far? Does it make sense?
I said it's
We can't send 0.8 of a person, so we do have to get a whole delegate.
Did it end up being 1-1? 1-1. Thank you.
Any questions about this? Need any help? All right, and you continue doing that until all your delegates are assigned. You will have whatever number in your top right-hand corner is the number of delegates you get, and keep going down that list until you have 5 or 3 or whatever number. Every precinct is at least going to have 2 delegates. Okay, so have we all worked out how many delegates each candidate is getting in their precinct? Any questions?
Where do we write that on the page? Just write it next to it so that I can put the whole number of
All right, now that we have the number of delegates that each candidate gets, it is time to elect your delegates to the county convention. If Bernie got 5 delegates and Hillary got 9, if you were a Hillary supporter, you don't get to go. But you split it up based on the supporters. So if Hillary got 1, Bernie got 1, you pick 1 delegate from the Bernie column and 1 delegate from the Hillary column. That you can discuss amongst yourself if there's anyone who wants to volunteer. If there are more people who want to be delegates than there are delegate spots, you will have to vote on who gets to go. Any questions about that?
They go to the convention, the Democratic.
Where is it going to be? God only knows.
When, where, how, what, how.
There's one open. You got 1 and 1.
Of course, somebody from the Democratic can just give us. I've Actually, what happens? What happens, right? What happens if nobody volunteers?
You can be a delegate, but you gotta be a delegate.
Yeah.
She's going to address that in a minute. Nobody volunteering for anything. Because there's people yelling over there, who wants like 3 for Bernie? Oh, there it is.
Say what I need to do. The one that we
The red pants. Tell her to steal the card.
Okay, I stand corrected, but there are dates in the packet. He's reading them off. So there are dates in the packet on what the dates are. Have it here. Yeah, here's
On tax day convention.
All right, questions about the date for the convention. It is March 19th. It is in Greeley.
I know what you're looking for.
Once you've elected your delegates, there is a sheet of paper there they're like half sheets. You list your candidate and you list the name of the name of the delegate selected to represent your precinct. We are also looking for alternates. If something happens and the delegate can't make it that day, the alternates may be seated in their place. So if you have multiple people who want to do it and not enough spots for them, an alternate spot would be a good place. Does that make sense? March 19th. I'm going to get the info. I have more info for you. All right, if you are chosen to be a delegate, please make sure you have one of these blue sheets of paper. And there is also a log where you need to sign that you received this. This is your official call. This means that the party will not be mailing you a reminder. This is it. The convention will be Saturday, March 19th. We will start, registration opens at 8 a.m. If the delegates are not all there by 8:45, they will start seating alternates for that precinct. The meeting convenes at 9 and it should be done by about 2 o'clock. So that is the county convention and assembly. If you are a delegate to the county convention, you also have the chance to become a delegate to the state convention. And that will be on April the 16th. If you are interested in doing that, there is a form in there. We will actually be having a proper ballot at the county convention where people can vote on who they want to send to state convention.